Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to Career Launcher. Welcome for the next session on MICAT 2026. Okay, so I hope for all of you who may or may not have given the phase one, you're gearing up for the phase two. The deadline for the registrations, I think, is just a few days left. So I hope you have made your preparations and looking forward to give this exam. Right. So we'll be looking at quant. We'll be looking at some questions which are relevant and will help us to recap some of the most important concepts. I'm sure that you have done your syllabus by now, and so through the questions, let's you know deal with the most important concepts. I would say that you should be aware of, right, going into the exam. All right, let's begin. Here we go. MICAT 2026 Quantitative Aptitude. Our details of PDP session are available on this link. You can scan this and get to know about our PDP module. Don't risk the last mile, right? So basically, we have personalized our sessions, right? And in case you're looking out for your GTPI preparations, so just uh, get in touch. All right, let's start. The first one, here we go, something to do with profit and loss, right? Let's see. Okay, the market price of 10 articles is the same as the selling price of 12 articles. Perfect. If the market price is increased by 25% and the selling price is increased by 20%, then what is the discount percentage offered on the new market price? So this question has nothing to do with cost, only something with selling and market price is there. So let's say mark price, I'm just writing MP and SP for that. So 10 into the mark price is the same as equals 12 times the same as the selling price of 12. So 12 into the selling price. So from here, basically, I'm getting the ratio of the two, that mark price over selling price is 12 by 10, or call it 6 by 5. So therefore, I can take mark price to be 6x and selling price to be 5x, or I can take it to be 600 and 500. Anything you take, you deal with numbers, you deal with variables as you wish. So basically, if mark price is 600 currently, then selling price is 500 as of now. So this is the initial values, because then the question talks about doing some percentage change on the same, right? So the idea is, as soon as you hit this ratio, then you assume some numbers and then you work further with that, right? Working with numbers is easy, right? So therefore, now do the percentage changes. In the new values, what is happening? Mark price is increased by 25%. 25% is 1 by 4. 1 by 4 of 600 is 600 by 4 is 150. 600 plus 150, this becomes 750. What happens to the selling price? It is also increased by 20%, which is 1 by 5. What is 1 by 5 of 500? Simply 500, simply 100. So 500 plus 100, that is 600. What is the discount percentage offered on the new mark price? So basically, going from 750 to 600, what is the percentage decrease, right? Discount is percentage decrease that happens on the mark price. So that's a decrease of 150 on the base value of 750. So that's simply a 20% discount, 1/5. That's it, done. Right. So it should be as smooth as that, right? That's the point. Deal with numbers, get it done. Fine. Basics, profit and loss, uh, arithmetic, right? I'm sure everybody should be comfortable with this, right? So I've lined up the session with many exciting things coming up. So uh, just participate with me, try to solve with me, right? That's the whole motive of this session, right? Let's see. Let's move ahead. Okay, here we go. Meena and Sheena are two typists in an office with the speeds of 120 and 150 words per minute, respectively. Typing speeds. Both were assigned to type the documents with 15,000 and 20,000 words. Meena started typing at 10 o'clock and had a break of 30 minutes for lunch. Sheena started her typing at 13, call it 1 o'clock. At what time, in hours, minutes, and seconds, will they complete their respective tasks? Simple calculation of uh, work. Basically, it's a work and rate question. Rate is given. Work is, so this is the work, 15 and 20,000 words. That is a rate. So time is basically work upon rate. Work is rate into time. So therefore, you just need to calculate the time by doing work over rate. It's a simple work and rate calculation question, right? Looks like we'll get into fractions because the time for Sheena are going into seconds and all. So that's the other thing to take care of. So there is Meena and there is Sheena. For Meena, the time taken will be work, which is 15,000 words for her, divided by her rate, which is 120 words per minute. काटा पीटी करो, निकालो आंसर क्या आ रहा है. 12 1500 by 12, 4 will cancel, 3 will cancel, 4 and 500 by 4. So this was words per minute, and right, this was words and this was words per minute. So this will come in, time will come in minutes. 500 by 4, which is 125 minutes. Now we need to find this in hours, minutes, and seconds. So 125 minutes basically is 2 hours and 5 minutes, right? 120 minutes is 2 hours. She started at 10. She also had a break of 30 minutes for lunch somewhere in the middle of it. So add another half an hour, you get 10:30. Then to 10:30, she did not take the break at 10, I'm saying, but you need to consider that 30 minutes. So right, so add another 30 minutes for that. 10:30 plus 2 hours 5 minutes, so 12:35. Now two options are giving me that, so it's either B or C. We also therefore need to calculate for Sheena, right? I checked the options. By chance, if only one option had 12:35, I would have had my answer right now, but not so. So therefore for Sheena also, let's find her time. So her words are 20,000 and her rate is 150 words per minute. Again, do the kata pt. 2000 by 15, 5 cancel karo, 3 aya, 400 by 3. So yes, it's a fraction. 400 by 3, that is 133 and 1/3 of a minute. So that means again it's 2 hours for 120, then another 13 minutes and another 1/3 of a minute, which means 1 by 3 into 60, 20 seconds. She did not take a break. Looks like she just came after the lunch at 1 o'clock. She just started and finished it off. So 2 hours means 1 से लेकर के 2 3 बज जाएंगे, फिर 13 मिनट 20 seconds, that is 15 13 20. So that makes it as option C, right? So just a bit of a calculation work with work and rate, isn't it? So perfect. This is a calculation of work and rate. That's how you'll do this. Basic equation, basic relation. Time is work over rate, or work is rate into time. That's all you need to know. Perfect. Perfect. Let's see the next one. Here we go. Okay. Partnership. Nasir, Tushar, and Vidya decided to make a sequel to Dirty Picture and invested in the ratio of 5:3:7 to meet half the investment of the film. Ekta invested the remaining amount and directed the film. While Nasir and Vidya withdrew their money after 1/6 and 1/3 of the period of filmmaking, Tushar and Ekta invested for the whole period of filmmaking. If the film made a net profit of rupees 63.5 crores, what is the share of Vidya? Hmm. So the base concept of partnership is that all partnership questions are about kisko kitna paisa mila. So what is a profit sharing model? The logic is, the concept is, profit is in proportion of both the parameters, which is the amount or the money invested and the time for which the money has been invested. It's a joint variation. So profit is proportional to money into time. So you have to find the ratio or the proportion of this parameter for the persons involved. There are four persons involved, not one, not two, not three, but four persons. Obviously, filmmaking is not an one man's job. So there is Nasir, there is Tushar, there is Vidya, there is also our Ekta. Perfect. So now these three people invested half the amount, right? The first three. Then Ekta invested the remaining. So basically, Ekta put the amount, right, which is equal to the sum of what the other three put, right? So let's take numbers. Let's take 537 rupees. Okay, means whatever, right? It might be because in these questions only ratio matters. So just take the numbers as they are given. So let's say they invested 5 units, 3 units, and 7 units. So 5 plus 3 plus 7 is 17. Sorry, 5 plus 3, 8 plus and 15 units. So Ekta invested the remaining 15 units. So therefore the total of 30 units I have taken off the money or the amount, right? Then for the time, you see there's some fractions involved. Like what I would look at is the fraction of 1/6 and 1/3. So I will just take the total amount of time as 6 units, right? So Nasir withdrew the money after 1/6 of the period of filmmaking. So he was only there for 1 unit of the time period. Vidya withdrew her money after 1/3 of the period of filmmaking. So she was there for only 2 units, while Tushar and Ekta were throughout involved for the whole period, which is 6 units. So now this is the numbers, money and time, right? Right, this is in this ratio 5 is to 3 is to 7 is to 15. The money was invested in the ratio 1 is to 6 is to 2 is to 6. The is the ratio of the time periods for which these four people were involved. Now do the product of these two parameters. So the profit distribution has to be done in proportion of amount into time. That comes to be 5 into 1, 5, ratio 3 into 6, 18, ratio 7 into 2, 14, ratio 5 is to 15 into 6, 90. The total of which is 18 plus 5, 23, 23 plus 14, 37, 37 plus 90, 127. So now, if the profit was 127 units, each one would have got 55, 18, 14, and 90 units respectively. Now look at 63.5 and look at 127. Divide 127 by 2, you have exactly that number, 63.5. So if this is 63.5, then the other numbers are also half. So Nasir got 2.5 crores, Tushar got 9 crores, Vidya got 7 crores, Ekta will get 45 crores. What is the share of Vidya? That is this number 7. Right? Concept profit is proportional to the product of the two parameters, which is the amount and the time. That is your partnership concept, people. Right? So this question captures the concept, I think, perfectly in detail, right? How do you deal with such kind of situation? Money, time, both parameters are variable for each person. Accordingly, you take the ratios and you take the product also. Right? Perfect. Perfect. Dekhe, I am in a live session with you, so please put up anything on the chat box. I will help. Perfect. I'm asking perfect means can we move on? Right? If there is any doubt, I can repeat anything. Perfect. Question 4, statistics. We can also come back to any question. Don't worry, right? You can ask me anytime. Okay, statistics, straightforward, single line, one sentence question. Find the standard deviation of this course. So, ekdam seedha sawal, no bakwas. Right. So, well, you should know the standard deviation formula. How do you calculate that? Right? How do you do that? Mathematically speaking, there's a formula for this. Typically, standard deviation is denoted using the symbol sigma. For a given data set of numbers, call it x1, x2, x3, xn, the standard deviation is defined as the summation of xi minus a whole square, I going from 1 to n, summation of the difference of each number from the average of the given numbers. A over here is the simple arithmetic mean of these n quantities, x1 plus x2 plus dot dot xn upon n, whole divided by n, and then whole square root of that. Right, that's the formula. Just put it. So first find the average A, which is simply the middle term. This is an AP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The middle term has to be the average. So our average in this case is 4. Then find the difference of each number from the average and then take their squares and then take their sum. So what does that become? 1 minus 4, which is minus 3 whole square, which is 9, plus 2 minus 4, which is minus 2 whole square, which is 4, plus 3 minus 4, which is minus 1 whole square, which is 1, plus 4 minus 4, which is 0 square, which is 0, plus 5 minus 4, 1 square of that 1, plus 6 minus 4, 2 square of that 4, plus 7 minus 4, 3 square of that 9. So this is what I've done straightforward in one go. Is the numerator, the summation of the squares of the difference of each number from the average, and then divided by the number of numbers, which is in this case is 7, and then take the whole square root of that. That's your value, whatever you get. What is the numerator? 9, 4, 13, 1, 14, and there also 14, 28, 28 by 7, 4, 4 square root of that is 2. That is your value of sigma. That's it, right? So easy as it gets if you know the formula. So कुछ सीधे सवाल भी आते हैं इस तरह से, राइट, और कुछ घूम करके भी आते हैं. तो हर तरीके के सवाल आएंगे, आपको पकड़ना है हर उस चीज को जो ग्रैब करने लायक है, राइट. Perfect. Let's moving on to the next one. Okay, very interesting. Next question on probability. I'm sure that you can also do this. Try to give me the answer faster than I can solve this. A die is thrown 3 times. What is the probability that exactly 2 results are the same? A dice is thrown 3 times. What is the probability that exactly 2 results are the same? Any PNC question is, so probability also is what? Favorable ways upon total ways. So basically we have to count the favorable ways. So it's a counting question eventually. So first find the total ways. What is the total outcomes possible? What is the total possible outcomes? You're throwing 3 dice. Each dice has 6 faces. So fundamental counting principle, you multiply the number of ways. First dice 6 ways, second dice 6 ways, third dice 6 ways. A total of 216 ways are possible. 6 into 6 into 6. What is the favorable ways? Favorable ways are the ways when exactly 2 dice should show the same number and the third dice should show a different one. So here in this counting, there are 2 main steps involved. First, making the decision that which numbers will turn up, what combination of values, and then assigning those values amongst the dice. Because because in your total ways you have considered the three dice to be distinct. When you're doing 6 into 6 into 6, then you're saying that the first dice has 6 ways, second dice has 6 ways, third dice has 6 ways. You're considering each dice to be a distinct one. So it matters that which dice has got what number. Order matters, right? You have considered the order when you're finding the total ways. So coming to the favorable ways, first deciding about which combination of digits will turn up. So first select that digit which will repeat. There has to be one value. Digit means value over here from 1 to 6, which will repeat. Can be done in 6 ways, right? 6 ways you decide which number will appear on 2 dice. Then decide which number will appear on the third dice. Now that cannot be the same which you have just chosen. So for that value, it has 5 remaining options. So 6 into 5 ways for the selection of the values. Once this is done, right, then so just for illustration purpose, let's say I have selected 1 as the number which will repeat and 2 as the number which will come on the third dice. Now this selection of values can turn up amongst the three digits, among the three dice, in three different orders: 112, 121, 211. There are three different orders in which these three values can be assigned amongst the three dice. So further, there are 3 ways to do the assigning of the values among the dice. So that's your favorable ways, that's your total ways. Divide them, that is your required probability. So probability is 6 into 5 into 3 over 6 into 6 into 6. 6 goes, 3 goes, 5 over 12. There goes your answer, option B. Perfect. So just need to be very methodical in this, right? Always make one sure in PNC probability based questions, specifically probability, when you're doing the calculation of favorable and total ways, just be very very particular. If you have considered the total ways in an ordered way, so favorable ways also should be considered in an ordered manner. The right, so the most common mistake that people happen to do in this question is they stop at 6 into 5 and they forget to do into 3 part कि assign भी तो करना है, right? Perfect. चलिए, okay, ready for the next one? Here we go, going through some important questions. Okay, so just to remind you that CL has its app now for a very long time, available on both iOS and Android. In case you're still not aware, it's one of the many ways to stay connected. So just check it out, right? A lot of resources available. Okay. Now, something on numbers. Here we go. ट्राई करेंगे मेरे साथ. How many perfect squares less than 10,000 are either one less or one more than a multiple of 7? If you carefully look at this question and if you carefully understand what we need to do, what is the objective and how to do, you will realize that primarily, although the question does not directly say this, but primarily the question is on the concept of remainder. One less or one more than a multiple of 7. So basically a number we are looking for which leaves a remainder of either 1 or 6 when divided by 7. That's the basic idea, right? So in that way, the remainder concept is there in this question, isn't it? Okay, now, so the thing is, perfect square means n square. One less or one more than a multiple of 7 means either 7x plus 1 kind of number or 7x plus 6 kind of number. One less than a multiple of 7 means 7x minus 1, which is equivalent to 7x plus 6, right? Minus 1 is the negative equivalent remainder. So plus 6 is the equivalent positive remainder. N square, where n is less than 100, because numbers are less than 10,000. N square is less than 10,000, so n is less than 100. So n can take the values from 1 to 99. Such numbers we have to count such that n square is of the form 7x plus 1 or 7x plus 6. So basically it's a remainder concept question. The logic over here is simple. n स्क्वायर का रिमाइंडर वही होगा जो n के रिमाइंडर का स्क्वायर होगा. You know that basically in remainder questions or in any remainder problem, whatever is being done with the number happens with the remainder also. So basically consider all the possibilities of the number to begin with. The number n could be a multiple of 7, means the remainder when it is divided by 7 is 0, or the number could be a multiple of 7 plus 1, the remainder is 1, or it could be a multiple of 7 plus 2, the remainder is 2, or the number could be a multiple of 7 plus 3, the remainder is 3, or the number is a multiple of 7 plus 4, the remainder is 4, or the number is a multiple of 7 plus 5, the remainder is 5, or the number is a multiple of 7 plus 6, the remainder is 6. And that's it. So n can take all these 7 possibilities. The remainders can go from 7 to 6, from 0 to 6. What is the remainder when n square is divided by 7? N square's remainder when divided by 7 is the same as the square of the remainders respectively. So 0 square is 0, 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4. These will be the remainders. 3 square is 9, but 9 is more than 7. So 9 is equivalent to a remainder of finally 2, because 9 further divided by 7 gives a remainder of 2. What I'm saying if a number is a multiple of 7 plus 3, and if you take its square, so that number when divided by 7 will give a remainder of 2. सिंपल सा कंसेप्ट है रिमाइंडर में, जो नंबर के साथ किया जाता है वही रिमाइंडर के साथ भी हो जाता है. आपने नंबर को स्क्वायर कर दिया है तो रिमाइंडर भी स्क्वायर हो जाएगा. आप चेक करके देख सकते हैं, जैसे कि 7m plus 3, for example 10 is a number, 10 is a multiple of 7 plus 3, 10 square is 100, 100 when divided by 7 gives a remainder of 2, 100 is 98 plus 2, 98 is a multiple of 7, right? It's not magic, that is the rule, that is the concept. Likewise 4 square 16, 16 further when divided by 7 is a remainder of 2. Again 5 square is 25, 25 further when divided by 7 is a remainder of 7 3 is 21 plus 4. 6 square is 36, 36 further when divided by 7 is a remainder of 1, 36 is 35 plus 1, 35 is a multiple of 7. I was looking for the remainder to be either 1 or 6. I don't see 6 anywhere, but I see 1 twice. I see the remainder of 1 appearing twice. In any group of 7 consecutive natural numbers, in any group of 7 consecutive whole numbers, even I would say, I will get exactly 2 favorable numbers. Yes or no? So basically, consider that you're going from 0 to 99, basically. Okay, I will also include a 0 because it helps me, because my chain over here has begun from 0, right? The point is, I'm looking from 1 to 99. I'm also fine to take 0 to 99, because in any way 0 is not to be counted, but it helps because in my counting I took from 0 to 6, so I will also get over here go from 0 to 6. So from 0 to 6 there will be 2 numbers favorable. From 7 to 13 there will be 2 numbers again. From 14 to 20 there will be 2 numbers again. So every set of 7 consecutive numbers there will be 2 favorable numbers, and so on, so on, so on. So 0 7 14 dot 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 90 1 is a multiple of 7, and 91 to 97. So how many groups I have taken over here? I have taken, so basically this is 7 into 0, 7 into 1 up to 7 into 13. So these are 14 groups. Each time I have two numbers which are favorable. So 14 such groups, each group has two favorable numbers. 14 into 2, which is 28 numbers I have got so far. But then 98 is also there and 99 is also there. 98 is a multiple of 7, that is not favorable, but 99 is a multiple of 7 plus 1. That is favorable. That will also count in. So 28 and plus 1 of this 99. So 29 numbers are going to satisfy this condition. So that's how you deal with such questions. Perfect. So getting us kind of a pattern, getting a kind of repetitive sequence, that in a bunch of 7 numbers, right, how many are favorable, and just repeat that across different bunch of or group of such numbers, right? Perfect. Ready for next one? Okay, right. Mixtures, people, mixtures. Let's see. Okay, the hot topic of these days, gold and silver. The ratio of gold and silver into alloys A and B is given. Let's start noting the things. Lots of things to consolidate. So there is gold, there is silver. I wish I had collected it 2 years ago. The way it is going. Okay, so A and B, ratio of gold and silver in A and B. So 5:4 is the ratio over here. 5:4 and 7:11 respectively. An equal quantity of the two alloys are mixed to form a third alloy Z. Further, something is done with the alloy Z. So obviously my first objective is to find the ratio of gold and silver in the alloy Z. An equal quantity of the two alloys are melted to form a third. So since equal quantities have to be taken, the total quantity of A and B has to be equal. Right now, if I look at the numbers in the ratios, this is 5 plus 4, which is 9. This is 7 plus 11, which is 18. I need the numbers to be equal. So I would just double 9 to make it equal with 18. Right? So I will just double these numbers, 5 into 2, 4 into 2, 10 and 8. So in the alloy Z, what is the total quantity? 18 and 18, 36 units, out of which 5 into 2, 10 plus 7, 17 units is my gold, and 4 into 2, 8 plus 11, 19 units is silver. 17 is to 19 is therefore the ratio of gold to silver in alloy Z. Now, next phase of the question, that this alloy Z is mixed with another alloy C. So now comes into the picture of fourth thing, which is C, containing gold and silver now in the ratio of 4:5 to form a new alloy Q. If the ratio of alloys Z and C is in alloy Q is in the ratio of 2:1. So if this is 2 units, then this is 1 unit, a total of 2 and 1. What is the ratio of gold to silver in alloy Q? I'll do the same thing right now. So the total has to be in the ratio of 2:1. Over here, this has to be in the ratio of 2:1. You can see this is 4 plus 5, 9. Right now this is 4 times. So it should be only double. अगर मैं इसको double कर दूंगा तो फिर दोनों का ratio match हो जाएगा. 36:18. So I'll just double this. So therefore these numbers will also get doubled. So then there goes my values. 17 plus 8, 25. 19 plus 10, 29. There goes your answer written in the option A. That is the ratio of gold to silver in the alloy Q, which is finally found by mixing Z and C in the ratio 2:1. So do you see how I worked with the numbers directly? मैंने कोई वेरिएबल नहीं लिया, मैंने कोई एलिगेशन नहीं लगाया, कोई इक्वेशन नहीं लगाई, मैंने सिंपली नंबर्स के साथ वर्क किया. See, try to understand what makes the difference between, let's say, you know, a thumping score, right, and an okay score, right, is how quickly you are scrolling through the easy questions, right? And that happens when you're not taking variables, not taking equations, you are directly dealing with numbers. So ये जो पूरा arithmetic है, ये सारा ratio based, how to do it with only numbers, right? That's the approach, right, which I'm trying to uh, portray over here, how to manage it easily, right? चलिए आगे बढ़ें. Let's move on to the next one, right? So I hope you're like making notes or taking uh deriving the techniques that basically we are discussing over here. I'm sure you have seen such questions so many times by now, right? It is the approach that I want you to carry through. Let's carry forward our momentum with the next question. Here we go. Something interesting. Let's see. Ram and Ravi, two magicians, start a magic show together. Ram has some red flowers, Ravi has some yellow flowers. Ram triples the red flowers every 20 seconds and Ravi doubles the yellow flower every 15 seconds. If after a minute there were 263 flowers on the stage, how many flowers in total were there initially? Interesting. There are two magicians, Ram and Ravi, who have some number of flowers initially. Let's call that as X and Y respectively. The question is asking what is X plus Y? How many flowers in total were there initially? There are 60 seconds. There is 1 minute for which the magic show is running, right? Because after a minute there were 263 flowers after a minute. Ram is tripling the red flowers every 20 seconds. In 60 seconds, he will be able to triple the flowers thrice, because 20 seconds occurs 3 times in 60 seconds. 20 into 360. So his flowers will first become 3 times, then will again become 3 times, and then will again become 3 times. So they will eventually become 27 times. 20 सेकंड के बाद 3x हो जाएंगे, 40 सेकंड के बाद 9x हो जाएंगे, और 1 मिनट के बाद 27x हो जाएंगे. Ravi is doubling every 15 seconds. 15 seconds will occur 4 times. So पहले 15 seconds के बाद डबल हो जाएंगे, y का 2y हो जाएगा. फिर अगले 15 सेकंड के बाद 30 सेकंड्स बीत जाएंगे, तो फिर एक और बार डबल हो जाएगा, 4y हो जाएगा. फिर एक और 15 सेकंड्स 45 सेकंड्स टोटल बीत जाएंगे, 8y हो जाएगा. फिर एक और बार फाइनली 60 सेकंड्स के बाद 16y हो जाएगा. दिस टोटल इज गिवन 27x plus 16y, that is given to you as 263. Now what is x and y? एक ही इक्वेशन है, दो वेरिएबल्स हैं, कैसे सॉल्व होगा? Hidden trial. What else? Because here x and y are basically what? Whole numbers, or rather positive integers. They can't be fractions, they can't be negatives. They also can't be zero, right? Because you can't double zero to get anywhere, right? So basically, you're looking for whole number solutions of this equation. That's all. Natural number solutions of this equation, right? तो क्या करेंगे? Hidden trial करेंगे. क्या कहेंगे? We'll say okay, 16y is 263 minus 27x. मतलब x को डालो 1 2 3 डॉट 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 जब तक कि you don't reach somewhere that you can say is a multiple of 16. Right, 16y is 263 minus 27x. So just keep on doing this. What is 263 minus 27 into 1? So that is 236 is not a multiple of 16. 16 and then 76. No. 263 minus 27 into 2, which is 54, is 209. अगेन अच्छा यहाँ पर इवन एक्स को तो लेना ही नहीं है बिकॉज वो 263 इज ऑड. इफ यू विल सब्ट्रैक्ट 27 का इवन मल्टीपल यू विल ऑलवेज गेट एन ऑड नंबर. तो ऐसे वैल्यूज को डालो ही मत. ओनली डू एक्स. एक्स कैन ओनली बी ऑड फॉर श्योर, राइट? तो व्हाई टू चेक इवन फॉर 2 और 4? So quickly do this. 263 minus 81 now. 27 into 3 will be is equal to 185. Sorry, 182. Yeah, right. That also does not work. So what about 5? X equal to 5. 263 minus 27 into 5, which is 135. हाँ, लग रहा है कि ये 128 है. Yeah, so that works. 128 is 16 into 8. And this I have taken as 27 into 5. So that is the values that we were searching for. So basically my x is 5 and my y is 8. 5 plus 8, 13. Right? So therefore, what's the moral of this question? Some questions are only done by hit and trial. You'll have one equation in two variables. It's not a question now of algebra. It's a question of number searching. Right? So be prepared for such questions also. Don't expect कि अच्छा जितने variables हैं उतनी equation मुझे मिल जाए मैं अपना algebra लगा लूंगा. Try to understand. You'll have just one equation with two variables. You have to do hit and trial to search for the integer solution, right? Because here the context is of that the quantity is a natural number or a whole number, and therefore only one equation is sufficient. So the point is that this equation has infinitely many solutions from an algebraic perspective, but from the perspective of the question in hand, x and y are natural numbers. There is only one unique integer solution to this equation. The way the data is given, there is a unique solution, right? You will not get any other solution, right? So you have to search for that, right? So I hope that this is something that is interesting, and if you come across such things, you know what to do. Perfect. चलिए आगे चलें, अगला करें. Here we go. Averages. Now this is something I think everybody can do, right? Let's see. Amazon used to earn 180 rupees on Saturdays. Saturday 180 rupees. 210 rupees on Sunday. अरे भाई संडे को बुला रहे हो, छुट्टी का दिन होता है तो पैसे ज्यादा मांगूंगा मैं. And a fixed amount on the remaining 5 days of the weeks in a particular year. So other days, not something some common value. Let's call that n rupees. If the average income of the mason in the month of April, whose first day was Sunday, was 164 rupees, then what was the fixed amount he used to earn on the remaining 5 days of the week? Assume that the mason worked on all days of the month. So basically this n is what is asked. Ye n kya hai? What is the fixed amount he used to earn on the remaining 5 days, right? So the month, we need to know how many Sundays, Saturdays, other days are there. Only then we can work upon this overall 164 rupees, the average income of mason in the month. So first of all, what is the total income of the mason? What is the total income? Average is given, number of days is given because it's in April. April is 30 days. January, February, March, April, right? Right. So total days is total days is 30. So total earnings or total income is basically 164 times 30. 16 into 3, 480 plus 12, 4920. सही कह रहा हूँ? Yeah, सही कह रहा हूँ, right? 4,920 rupees, right? Perfect. So this has to be the sum of his earnings. Now, how many Saturdays, how many Sundays, and how many other days will fall? That we have to check, right? So the the first day was Sunday, right? It starts from Sunday. So basically, first is Sunday. So Sunday to Monday, this cycle will come across, right? Sunday से start होगा, तो first 7 days, then next 7 days. So ये cycle 4 बार चलेगा, 28 days हो जाएंगे. So 28 days, 4 such cycles. And then what will be the 29th day? So we are going from Sunday to Monday. Then the next cycle will again start from Sunday. And then the 30th day would be Monday. So basically the 2 days which are going to repeat 5 times is a Sunday and Monday. Now, for me, all that matters is Saturday, Sunday, and other days. How many Saturdays are there? 5. Sorry, my bad. 4. Sundays are 5. There are 4 Saturdays, right? But there are 5 Sundays because there was that extra Sunday that came in. So 4 and 5, 9 days over here, and then 21 days will remain over here. So I think now our equation is ready because this is the number of days, this is the rate, the payment rate. So therefore, now multiply these and add them. So that should equal this 4920. That should give you the value of n. So here we go, 180 into 4. Our equation becomes 180 into 4. Saturday के लिए कितने मिलेंगे? 4 Saturday, 180 rupees on each Saturday. Plus 210 into 5. हर Sunday के लिए 210 रुपए. 5 Sunday. Plus 21 जो बाकी दिन है उसके लिए कुछ n rupees हमने किया है. That is equal to this 4920. Get the value of n. Right? Simple question, as I said, of just managing the given situation, the given data and everything. Okay, so what we are having, this is 720, this is 1050. So yeah, just finishing this off now. What is 21n equal to 4920 minus this is 1050 plus 720, 1770, 1770 रुपए. ठीक है ना? So what does that give me? 48 3150 if I'm not wrong, right? 3150. हाँ दिख रहा है 3150 से कट जाना चाहिए because 315 में 7 है, इसमें भी 7 है. So n is coming to be 3150 by 21. 7 पहले काट लेते हैं. 7 into 4 is 28, then 35 75. So 450 by 3, 150 rupees. 150 rupees, 150 रुपए मिलता है उसको, राइट? परफेक्ट परफेक्ट. तो अब ये क्वेश्चन करने के लिए आपको बस you have to just do the calculation, that's all. But how fast you are, that's all, right? So this is a routine question. Just you need to be very quick with quickly processing so much things, right? इधर आप weekdays भी काउंट करोगे, फिर आप वो रेट को ध्यान में रखोगे, फिर आप एक वेरिएबल लोगे, फिर आप एक इक्वेशन बनाओगे, right? That's all. But you know, be ready for these kind of things, right? And these are doable things, and get you should get them done, right? 1.5 minutes on an average doable है, right? चलिए, perfect. Next one, again something quite an interesting one. Time and distance पर कुछ नहीं किया है. Let's do something. Okay, here we go. Krish, who is standing at the edge of a pool, is playing with his Labrador friend Emily. जैसे ही टाइम एंड डिस्टेंस का कोई भी क्वेश्चन आता है जिसमें कुछ स्टोरी स्टार्ट होती है, तो मैं हमेशा एक डायग्राम बनाना स्टार्ट कर देता हूँ. मेरे को ये आसान लगता है कि आई एम कैप्चरिंग अ काइंड ऑफ अ विजुअल फिगर एंड देन solving it. So there's a pool, there's also Emily on the ground initially, hopefully. As soon as Chris jumps in the pool, Emily starts running towards him because Chris is standing at the edge of the pool. So Labrador friend is behind somewhere, right? So this is the edge of the pool starts on the right hand side, and Krish, who is standing at the edge of pool, is playing. As soon as Krish jumps in the pool, Emily starts running towards him at a speed. So Emily must be somewhere behind. Let's say here she starts running. Just a second, let me do one small thing over here, because we have to also draw the diagram of the thing going ahead, right? So let's say this is the pool somewhere in the middle, and here Krish will jump in and Emily will start from somewhere behind. Emily starts running towards him at a speed which is thrice the swimming speed of Krish. But when Emily jumps in the pool, her speed is reduced by a third. What is the ratio of the distance run by Emily on the ground to the distance she swam until she met Krish? अगर ये क्वेश्चन मैं 100 बच्चों को करने को दूंगा, तो from my experience what I have seen is 95 to 98% of the people start taking, सबसे पहले वो वेरिएबल लेते हैं. And the only thing that we keep on teaching and our whole lifetime is spent in teaching to all our students is, आप इस क्वेश्चन को कोई x कोई z कोई d कुछ नहीं लिए बिना ऐसे ही कर सकते हैं. हाँ, मैं हो सकता है कि कुछ लिखूं भी x वगैरह, बट उसके ऊपर इक्वेशन नहीं बनाऊंगा, बस उसको रेशो को रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए जस्ट आई विल राइट इट. व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से, इट्स अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ रेशोस. You don't need any variables. You don't need to create equations. How? It's a race question basically. And in any race question, the racers are always running for the same amount of time. Time is the constant factor. You are also running for the same time. I'm also running for the same time. Distance is split into time. When time is constant, distance and speed are in the same proportion. बस यही रेशो का कंसेप्ट पढ़ाते पढ़ाते हमारी जिंदगी बीत जाती है. अभी मैं 40 साल का हूँगा, मैं जब 70 साल का भी हो जाऊंगा तो भी मैं यही बोल रहा हूँ कि टाइम कांस्टेंट है, तो डिस्टेंस और स्पीड सेम प्रोपोर्शन में होते हैं. लोगों को ये बात समझ में अगर आ जाए, तो वो क्वेश्चंस जो कि 5 मिनट लगा करके करते हैं टाइम एंड डिस्टेंस का, वो कैसे 45 सेकंड्स में होता है, वो उनको खुद हैरानी होगी. सो एमिली की स्पीड थ्राइस है क्रिश के रेस्पेक्ट में. क्रिश और एमिली ने एक साथ भागना शुरू किया. जब तक एमिली पूल के एज तक पहुंचेगी, तब तक क्रिश भी कहीं तो पहुंच चुका होगा. लेट्स से क्रिश यहां पर है और एमिली अब यहां पर है. लेट मी राइट एमिली 2 क्रिश 2, क्रिश 1 एमिली 1. मतलब एमिली 1 क्रिश 1, ये उनकी पहली सिचुएशन थी, पहली पोजीशन थी. अब एमिली 2 क्रिश 2, दिस इज देयर सेकंड पोजीशंस. उनकी स्पीड का रेशो 3:1 है अभी तक. तो अगर स्पीड का रेशो 3:1 है, तो डिस्टेंस कवर्ड का भी रेशो 3:1 होगा. तो अगर ये 3 यूनिट्स है, तो ये 2 यूनिट, तो ये 1 यूनिट है. अगर ये 3 यूनिट डिस्टेंस है, तो ये 1 यूनिट डिस्टेंस है. अब इसके बाद कहीं आगे जाकर के उनको फिर दे हैव टू मीट ऑल्सो. There will be a situation when Krish 3 and Emily 3, they will both meet eventually at some point when Emily will be able to catch up with Krish. Now, Emily's speed has reduced by a third. उनकी स्पीड का रेशो 3:1 था. इसकी स्पीड थी 3 यूनिट्स, इसकी स्पीड थी 1 यूनिट. 3 is reduced by a third, which is 1/3 of 3, 1. तो हर स्पीड विल बिकम नाउ 2 यूनिट्स. मतलब इनकी स्पीड का रेशो अब इट इज नाउ 2:1. 2:1 की रेशो में एमिली विल कवर अ डिस्टेंस विच इज डबल ऑफ द डिस्टेंस कवर्ड बाय क्रिश. एमिली विल कवर 2 यूनिट डिस्टेंस, Krish will cover 1 unit distance. This one that I have written, the initial separation between them. So this is the extra distance that Emily has to run with respect to Krish. Emily can run 2 units, then Krish will run 1 unit. और यहां पर डिफरेंस भी 1 है और 2 और 1 का डिफरेंस भी 1 है. कहने का मतलब Emily will overall run 2 units and Krish will run 1 unit. कहने का मतलब ये जो डिस्टेंस है from the second position of Krish to the third position of Krish, that should be another distance of 1 unit. So that Emily is running 2 units, Krish is running 1 unit. Their ratio of speeds of 2:1 is justified. There is your answer in front of your eyes that Emily has run 3 units on the ground and she has run these 2 units while swimming. And there goes your answer, 3:2. 1, 2, 3 का खेल था. Right? So I hope that this was fun to learn. Right? So people, I hope you're all geared up. I hope that this session gave you something to think through. Right? My only intention is कि कुछ नया हम लेकर के जाएं इस सेशन से. Right? We'll be once again meeting on coming Tuesday. So don't forget to again meet me. Right? Keep up with your practice. Right? All the best. All the very best. I'll see you once again. Thank you. Thank you so much.